Grimm.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. So this is a continuation of my Devilmay Cry all bosses video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded that last one. Yeah. I've been busy uploading other videos, as well as the fact that last time when I made that video took a really took a really long time editing that video, and I only got like 8 minutes out of it. And even though I took like way more footage, and I've been having a lot of life stuff go on, but yeah, that's been what's been going on. But now, at the time of me making this recording, I am making the second video for you guys to enjoy. So sit back, like and subscribe, follow my Instagram account for clips, and watch my shorts if you want to. New videos will be posted when I can, I guess. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Alright, so before I get the rest of the video started, I should let you guys know that I downloaded Devilmay Cry Crimson to kind of change up the combat a bit, you know, give access to more of a unique variety of skill sets when I'm fighting these bosses. So if you notice a difference compared to the previous video on how these bosses have a different health bar, or how I have access to more things, then yeah, that's why. But yeah, on to the boss. So this boss is Leviathan, or Leviathan Heart, or Leviathan Core. It goes by a bunch of names, but it's very apparent that this boss is one of the Nothing Burger bosses, where it's just another enemy to get in your way. It was summoned by Arkham to get in your way. Again, Arkham I will get to in another video. You better shut up. Shut. Nope. Shut. Arkham's the guy who I'm gonna get to later. I'm gonna make a video about him. Just give me time. But yeah, Leviathan is another boss that's meant to get in your way. Although the game does heavily imply that this is the same Leviathan that's meant to represent envy, as one of the items you get from its stomach is said to lure souls, or collect souls of envy in the Sea of Envy or something like that in the game. But Leviathan is on level 8, you count him after you do the sick-ass intro of level 8, and in which he eats Dante. Leviathan is not that hard of a boss. It's got 2 attacks, depending on which heart you attack. If you attack the right heart, it does a laser attack, and later a double laser attack, which is extremely frustrating to dodge or to block with the Royal Guard. And the right heart... correction, it's the left heart that I'm talking about, not the right heart. The right heart's on lasers. The left heart will cause the heart to shoot homing projectiles at you in an attempt to kill you. That's a lot easier to deal with, because the projectiles don't even last that long, and it summons like about 4 to 6 of them at a time. But you'll also be attacked by Reapers that looks like to be made out of its insides to be attacking you. But yeah, this boss is one of the easier ones. I just recommend going Devil Trigger and Agni Rudra. This is the first level, actually, in which you get access to Devil Trigger, and I suggest you use that to its fullest extent. And here is Agni Rudra, proving to be my favorite weapons because of the fact that it does so much goddamn damage. But I use Beowulf for this clip, obviously. But yeah, next boss, because this guy is honestly ass. Nevin's one of the few bosses that learn to piss me off. So Nevin's main gimmick is that she has a shield in which you have to drain. How do you drain that? Range attacks, of course, because if you try to use a melee attack, then you can do that. That'd be too easy. Anyway, this is one of the first bosses that actually teach you to think and to, you know, use strategy. The best strategy I came up with is to just use Kalia Ann for people who've gotten to that point. But if you haven't gotten to that point, I suggest just using Ebony and Ivory. It has the fastest fire rate, and it's just going to be a lot quicker if you just do that. And even also express multiple voice lines in which she will tell you when to dodge her attacks. I mean, she doesn't tell you directly. She says stuff like, go to sleep, or other seductive things. Even also has a grab attack in which she will just outstretch her arms and then run towards you. Yeah, I'm afraid of women. I can't do that. Anyway, Neven is clearly meant to be inspiration of a succubus and has many lightning-based attacks. She also has manipulation over bats and is one of the bosses who will drop a double arm. Her double arm is a guitar and scythe called Neven, no shit, which will also give you access to a double trigger, which will give you the ability to fly and do things that are actually pretty helpful for speed runs or if you want to clear out large groups of enemies. Her double trigger also, or not double trigger, fucking what I'm talking about. Her double arm has attacks that allow you to do things like range attacks or just simply striking enemies away with a scythe. But my favorite part about it is that it's the fucking guitar. Anyway, that's all for Neven for now, but I would like to say that this boss is probably one of the few bosses that has either given me mixed opinions. Either I like her because she's cool, or I hate her because she's a fucking annoying piece of shit. Either way, let's move on to the next boss. The next boss is Beowulf, and I beat him really goddamn quickly, so I'm gonna have to add some extra footage of Beowulf. Beowulf is one of the bosses that actually gives us some direct lore on Sparta. Now, like the last few bosses, he was put there to challenge Dante and to test him, as well as Virgil, and to mend the rune, and also ward off all people who are unworthy. But it seems like he was put here against his will, unlike the other demons, and wasn't created by Sparta directly. It seems like Beowulf directly has met Sparta and fought him, and is particularly pissed at him for whatever reason, probably because he was walking the shade. But other than that, Beowulf is one of the bosses that is a challenge, but it seemed like for me it was pretty easy this time around. First time I fought him, he was annoying as hell and almost killed me. I recommend using Agni and Rudra against him for the most part. He takes a lot of damage from them, and they honestly do a lot of damage, and they're very quick too. I advise watching out for when he yells, "I'll kill you!" because that's when he's going to use his "Go to Hell" attack, where he just shoots a bunch of light and sprouts his wings. Beowulf also can be turned to a double arm, but only after being captured by Virgil, or not captured, killed by Virgil, and then turned into a double arm by him. After you beat Virgil, you can get him behind one of the areas in the following level that you beat after you beat Virgil. Now, interesting enough, he's not one of the bosses who gets beaten by Dante, but as stated earlier, gets beaten by Virgil. He also uses the terrain to his advantage by slinging cages at you, or whatever these giant obelisks are, in an attempt to crush you. He'll also run rapidly around the arena and attempt to charge you down and swipe you. His vow is to eliminate every last blood relation of Sparta, because he fucking hates you, and Sparta because you locked him, or your dad locked him in this shitty ass place. Yeah, Sparta's gonna have to be a topic for a future video. That's actually something I should get to. But anyway, besides that, Beowulf is a pretty interesting boss, and all around I give him like a 6 out of 10. He's not a half bad boss. I should do ratings for every boss. I should actually. You know what? In the future, how would you guys like to see a ranking of every boss, in my opinions of them? Like, in depth. I think that would be great for a video. Don't you think? I think it would be great. Anyway, next boss.
Talk about horsepower. A chicken race with a horse, huh? Fair enough.
The next boss is Greyron, which is a horse that also is connected to a chariot. Now, yes, I know Greyron is also in Devilmay Cry 5, but it's a different creature, and I am not going to talk about him until we get to that, alright? Alright, stick with me here. So, anyway, Greyron is a blue flaming horse that looks undead, and makes its entrance by trampling a bunch of just basic enemies to let you know that he's the boss. He is a horse that will ride around the arena and shoot projectiles at you, missiles, for whatever reason a chariot has missiles, in which you will have to guard them. I recommend the best counter for this boss is to use quicker attacks, so Agni and Rudra are going to be your best friend, but more importantly, having tells to know when he's going to do his thing, because this boss, for some reason, is given the ability to stop fucking time. Anyway, another thing you can do to get your double trigger gauge up faster is by royal guarding the projectiles. You'll also shoot these red bubbles that will trap you in time and shoot spears at you. Yeah, he was doing that a lot in this fight. He was actually a lot more difficult, and I ended up dying to him. Yeah, I'm really rusty. Sorry about that. Anyway, Grayron is one of those bosses where he can be iffy depending on your fights with him, and in my personal opinion, I think he's one of the better bosses. I think really I just don't like a lot of the beginning bosses, and then some of the bosses I feel cheated out of my win. But hey, that's just me. I'm not too good at these games, as you could probably tell. Grayron also can give you the ability to stop time and a new fighting style. That's called Quicksilver. Quicksilver is a fighting style that seems to be exclusive to Devilmay Cry 3. Apparently you can't get into the future games. I haven't gotten too far enough before yet to know that for sure, but let's just keep that to ourselves. Anyway, these are one of the two unique fighting styles that you get from bosses. The other one you'll get from a boss I will talk about soon enough in this video. But other than that, Grayron is just a horse that just needs good gold yellow treatment put down. Anyway, next boss. Alright, the next boss is called Dante's Double, or the Shadow Copy, or Doppelganger, whichever name you want to give him. This copy takes the appearance of Dante in his double trigger form, however, is shrouded in darkness and shadows. This boss can be particularly hard, and was particularly hard for me in both encounters, mostly for the fact that he's fast, aggressive, and does a lot of damage. You'll be put in an arena where there's multiple spotlights that will weaken him and allow you to strike him down. However, you don't get a lot of time. In fact, they'll even try and avoid these and shut them off using dark projectiles, or by trying to get you to move out of light by using these dark little pools of evil and yuck to try and kill you. He'll quickly move in when you're in the darkness and try to strike you down a few times before running away. However, if you dodge some of these attacks, you can use this to your advantage, as while he's there, he'll sit there for maybe 2 to 3 seconds, which is quick enough for you to shine a spotlight in him and quickly deal some damage towards him. One of the most annoying things about this goddamn boss is the fact that he's on your ass all the time. So if you step out of light for a split second, he'll immediately charge to you. However, the good news is due to his over-aggressiveness, you can quickly time when to shine the spotlight at him. This boss is also one of the few bosses that in this game which actually have a style that gives you, instead of a devil arm, unlike the other bosses. The style gives you Doppelganger, which it creates another copy of Dante to help you fight against enemies. Not that useful from what I heard, and it's only exclusive to Devilmay Cry 3 to what I know, but it doesn't hurt to try for fun, right? Anyway, you don't need to level up this style, same with Quicksilver, and I give this boss like a 7 out of 10. I had fun with him the second time around. First time around, I would give him like a 3 out of 10. I fucking hated this thing. I thought it was tedious and long. First time around, however, or not first time, second time around, I'm getting my words mixed up. Second time around, however, I give him a bit more of a fair rating. I do think this boss is one of the bosses that the developers clearly had a bit of fun with, especially concerning the copy gimmick with the fighting style he gives you. But other than that, I think he's pretty solid. You fight him right before... Oh, shit. I forgot to mention the level of the previous bosses. I'll mention that. Editor, put that in. Oh wait, I'm the editor. Okay, I'll just put that in. I'll put that in the description, I guess. But this boss you will encounter on level 17, and you can encounter level 18 as well. You can by the way, you can encounter like most of these bosses in level 18, except for Virgil, Lady, and Arkham. Those are the only bosses you can't encounter in level 18. And that's important because I used level 18 to make this video, because I didn't want to go through the entire level just to fight that boss. But yeah, that's all on Doppelganger. So let's... Oh wait, that's the last boss. Oh, shoot, that's the last boss. He made it in a video. Well, if you like this video, like to subscribe, follow my Instagram for exclusive clips. If you want to see more playthrough videos, please enjoy. I do want to, in the future, make more of these videos, all bosses videos and stuff like that, but I can only do that with your support. And we're almost to 50 subs. When we get to 50 subs, I'll fight a certain boss, a certain friend when you do want to get to 50 subs. But if you want to see that, like and subscribe, follow, and God bless.